Okay. I have a new setup here. I'm in my kitchen. I'm not in the car. I'm not in my bedroom. There's a big, beautiful, bright window in front of me. And hopefully you can hear me a lot better than when I was in my car. Hi! Welcome back to another video. My name is Shelby, and if you haven't been following along with the last few videos that I've posted, I have begun a fresh, brand new YouTube journey on top of the one that I previously made and just being more consistent. So I did promise that I would be sharing my monetization journey and my analytics as this whole challenge, or whatever you want to call it, progresses. And I've decided that I'm going to wait until the 14th day, which is in 4 more days, to start sharing my analytics, which has been interesting because if I don't post a video, I don't get more traffic, and it's just not very fun for people to come and check out the videos if there's no updates. So today I'm actually going to be freestyling. I'm going to be talking about my current hyperfixations and interests that I have been on and off working with. And this year I have decided to become an author or a writer, or give it a go at the very least. So I have begun writing a psychological thriller. At first it was like a horror series, because I just love all things horror and just the stuff that, that just gets backburnered, or like the stuff that you don't talk about that happens in this world. So I've got a few different scenarios that I'm working with right now. There's 2 main books. The first one, I'm going to give a little bit of an insight as to what I'm writing about. And it's really funny. There's a funny coincidence that happened as I started writing and as I finished my first draft of my first novel. So the first one that kicked it all off was about mainly I wanted to write a haunted house novel. And, oh, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. I wanted to write a novel about a haunted house, and we're going to dive into this as the spirituality aspect of this channel develops. But I grew up with okay, let me reword this in a way that I'm not giving away too much, but I'm not giving away too little. My mom and my mom's family were always religious. We'd be going to church when I was a young kid. And then my dad, they're divorced. My dad has always had a stance of atheism, but this sort of atheism where I would grow up knowing about spirits and ghosts, and we would explore different haunted places in the region on little mini driving road trips. That was just like our thing. We loved it. So we're in Niagara region. We'd be exploring, like, we'd go check out the Screaming Tunnel. And if you've been following my videos for a bit, you'd know that I actually did, for my first paranormal investigation on the Whim Gypsy channel, with my brother and sister, my sister's partner, and my friend Kenneth. We went and investigated the Screaming Tunnel. Doing that is kind of like a full circle moment, because my dad obviously had brought us out when we were younger kids to investigate and check out the haunting of that place. Not to go into too much detail in this video. It just fascinated me so much, life and death, and that like in between of like, where do we go when we die? What about religion? What about heaven and hell? It was controversial in my mind, because one side of me was, we are going to church. The other side is, there's ghosts in our house. Anyways, so I wanted to write this novel about a haunted house, but it turned into much more than just a haunted house. I have completed this draft of this story, but it's changing as time goes on. I can't say it's completely finished, because as weeks go on, I'm finding different ways to shift the storyline and actually make my writing style better, with examples from like Stephen King and assistance with a brainstorm sessions on with AI, which is so cool. I definitely want to touch on that in the future with this channel. We are in a weird time on this planet with artificial intelligence and all those LLMs or whatever you wanted to call them. But brainstorming with those things is like, it just, you got a good prompt, you're able to actually pick your brain in places that you wouldn't normally pick as quickly. So, continuing on, I started writing this haunted story, and it's very strange because I ended up picking up, well, my sister picked up this book, this signed copy of a book from Selena Myers. If anyone knows Selena Spooky Boo on YouTube, you would know that she has put out a book. She is an author, but she's also a paranormal gal and just all around cool, funny girl known for sleepwalking and farts and stuff. And just, oh my God, she's so funny. I love her. Love you. My sister picked up this book, The Haunting of Clandestine House. It sat on my shelf for about a month or two before I finally had the time and the focus to read it. And I sat down and read that entire book in one sitting. I shit you not. It was addicting, but this was after I had written my first draft of my book. I had no idea what this book was about. It had been sitting on my shelf. I read this book, and there were so many correlations with her book and my book that I had just written that I had like a mental breakdown. I was like, I can't put my book out because it's too similar. I don't want her to think that I'm copying her. And like, it's not just like a normal idea either. The correlations between her book and my book was too close for comfort. Let's just say that. So I've been on this journey to like make sure that my book doesn't sound like hers. Like there's obvious major differences between the two, and she is her own author, fantastic in her own right. The fact that this book that I wrote was so similar, it just, I don't know how that sort of thing happens, but it did, and it just kind of threw me off a bit. So I started writing another one. So mind you, we're kind of going all over the place with this chat. You're just getting a little insight into my life right now. Anyways, I started writing another book, and the idea for this book was so unhinged that I'm almost embarrassed to speak it out loud because it's dark and twisted and very horror-esque. Let's just say that. I was talking to my aunt, and she was saying something like, oh, like, I'm scared to write books because I feel like it would reveal too much of myself. And it had me think, like, if people read this book, are they going to think this is how my mind functions? Because this book that I'm writing is completely fictional. Trust me, it is extremely fictional to a point where it's like, no one in their right mind would do this in real life. But maybe they would in Leybourne. That's my book's town. Yeah. Anyways, so I put that to rest for about a week or more, maybe 2 weeks, and I had other things going on in my life. And I recently picked up the book last night that I had written, the second one, that I didn't reveal any details about. And I am shook. I don't know if it's just me thinking like, holy crap, I wrote this, like what is going on? But I was sitting on it for so long, and all these ideas came flowing to me. So I spent the majority of last night and today crafting a bigger plot for this book. I'll give you a little insight. So I wrote journal entries for one of the characters. I finished those. And now I'm writing the reason behind why these journal entries happened with new characters that I am introducing. Yeah. So, it's a little hard being a writer because I can't just go around telling people all this crazy shit that's happening in my fictional world because it doesn't make sense, and it's kind of like, are you okay, Shelby? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm I'm amazing. I'm actually so high off of, I have a writer's high, but I can't tell anyone about it. And I'm almost at the point where I'm going to need some beta readers. And if anyone is watching this and is intrigued and would actually spend the time to read one of my books before it gets published, I'm going to be self-publishing. So it will be available hopefully closer to the end of this year. It's not just one book, it's not just two books, it's a series. So the first book will come out, and then the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. I want you to think in the realm of like Goosebumps. Has anyone dove into the world of Goosebumps as a kid? I was obsessed with those books. I had almost all of them on a shelf in my house. I don't know what happened. At one point in my life, I just got rid of everything because I had way too much junk. But I wish I still had those books. Those books changed my life. They got me reading, and then I never actually got into Stephen King until recently, and he's good. He's real good. Like, they aren't joking that he's one of the kings of horror novels. There's some of the books that I start reading, like, I forget what it's called. Is it 1930 or something? I started reading it, and it actually made me sick to my stomach. And for a fictional book to have that kind of reaction upon reading is, like, I know self-development and all this stuff is great, but having the contrast to, like, level you out, or, like, in my personal life, I love a nice leveling out of horror and paranormal spookiness. As you know, as I've revealed, that's where I'm at right now. I'm doing this YouTube thing, but I'm also working on my books so intently. I spent maybe 4 hours crafting my new plot for this second book. And it's equally exciting as it is exhausting. Like, I will be honest, I do want to take power naps in between. The amount of brain power it takes to do this sort of thing is, I'm exhausted, but I'm so high off of it, like writer's high. So I get it. If there's any other writers out there, maybe we can connect over this. I would be open to reviewing books for others too. Honestly, like, I really do love reading. If it's a good book, I'll sit there and read through the whole thing in one sitting. Just pull an all-nighter and just do it. I used to have like this ADHD thing where I couldn't actually stay focused, but I have reading glasses, and if I have a good light and my reading glasses on, I can actually stay focused, is what I found recently, which is yes. But yeah, that's where I'm at, and expect the next videos to not particularly be about my book or anything of that sort. I most likely won't be talking about it until it's closer to release time. So if you're interested in self-development, spirituality, productivity, and going after your dreams and goals, genuine inspiration, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of this year. Maybe it'll happen. That would be really cool. I'm excited to see where this journey takes me. I want to be as authentic as I can be. And if we're being real, I can't even explain all of the things that I do and that I'm interested in, and just pure artistry. Who knows where this journey will take me. And I hope you enjoy witnessing it, and I hope it inspires you to take your own leaps of faith into what you enjoy doing. All right. Hope you have a great day. Bye.